Hello, hello, hello. I decided to do a little talk tonight about the twin flame journey and the connection of is it or is it not? And so, from my perspective, I can only share my journey, which has been a self discovery of the connection, the twin flame. And it wasn't by choice. You'll hear in the background my Wi-Fi kicking in and kicking out, and that's the way it's going to be. But the connection. I spent most of my life seeking the one. Since I was barely over the age of 10, I knew there was somebody out there waiting. Now, what does that mean? For me, in my own journey, I have discovered that this has a great significance. More so now, looking back, I can see where I have left the trail of my own journey. So that now that I am where I am, I can look back and go, oh my gosh, this isn't by chance. This, where I am today, where I am right now, isn't by chance. This one that washes through my life wasn't a fluke. And it no longer is a concern whether or not they recognize it. This is a journey for you to recognize your own journey. Yes. I spent a lifetime seeking, making choices. You see, I feel that a big part of this journey, and I've heard others say that free will is an illusion, but I believe it is a choice. I believe we come here with choices. We begin innocent and we accumulate information that causes us to create our own opinions through learning, watching. You know, I knew there was a disconnect from what I felt, what I seen in my own mind's eye as a youth, to what I was being told didn't connect. I did not connect with the storyline of what I was being told that I had to be and do. But I followed. Eventually I followed. And I followed because I thought I wanted to be more than what I was seen to be. And so, in essence, I bit off on the storyline of what it was we are intended to be by those who tell us our storyline. And so, time passes, I pick and choose lessons that I had to learn and live out. I reach a point in my life where life hands me, as I thought at the time, situations that I had to deal with, but yet I had forewarning of the outcome if I didn't change my choices and how I was living my life. I thought, for me, my life was already predestined, and I knew that if I continued on the path that I had chose, not necessarily what was there for me to do, but I was forcing my way through, and things were somewhat working out. But I was warned, slow down, slow down, slow down. And I didn't listen. I had a life-altering moment. All the while I thought I was on the path that was chosen. I thought I was on the path that felt right. I was on the path that seemed by the responses that I was receiving that I was rising above what it was and where it was I had come from. Their life events changed the story of me and how I came here. I had an awakening, a physical life-altering awakening. I was given 4 chances to come back. 2 of the choices that I was given to come back, I didn't want to come back. I felt comfortable with not coming back to this storyline. But as it was, I had no say in the end because those that were around me chose to keep me going. Fast forward. Those that were around me changed. I knew that there was a higher purpose, a higher calling, a higher reasoning for me to be and survive the ordeal that I had survived and was still surviving. You see, losing a limb was no small event. I continued. Things changed. People around me fell off. A spouse fell away. Years go past. By myself, I find myself in a place that I felt very comfortable. The surroundings, my lifestyle, I felt comfortable. And I was by myself thinking that I was safe. Then it happened. Slowly. I felt a discontent, a longing for something. I felt a sadness that would consume me in ways that I couldn't describe at the time. Here I'm this man in my midlife, maybe later than midlife, by himself and been by himself for a long time. Could not find anybody that would connect with me. And I felt this unease, even though in the physical I felt a comfort with my surroundings in the status in which I was. I had land, I had a house, I thought I was okay. But there was a sadness that consumed me. There was a sadness that came from within my soul that I could not describe to anyone that was around me. I had people, friends that were around me asking, why is it you just walk around this place of yours, this land that you have? For those that would see me, they'd seen a person who looked as if he was lost. But it wasn't that I was lost. I was trying to find myself in a way that I didn't even understand. You see, I heard my soul crying out that there was more to my story than what it was I was living day to day, working, ranching, being tipped mostly by myself. I knew there was this sadness that was consuming me, calling me, and I didn't know what it was. Today I could tell you exactly what and who it was. But I didn't know then. Events changed my life. I was tempted to come to a place which I am now through another human being, another soul. You see, that's the thing about this journey, is that we have other souls that will step in and push us past our safety net, push us past that we find ourselves so familiar with. A place that we feel safe, and yet this person can come in and pull you out. I was pulled out of my safety and my comfort zone to come back to the place in which I started this lifetime's journey. Yet I was still in my soul knowing that there was someone calling out. And there was a sadness calling out. Do you hear me? Yes. I came out for another person, another soul. But this soul was what it took to drive me out from where it was that I felt most comfortable to be in a place that was like, comfort is gone. Now you have to face the unknown. But there was a confidence that was overwhelming within me, at the same time a sense of the unknowing. And it was like I was dealt a hand of knowing but not knowing. How do you explain that to anyone? You see, I left my comfort zone with a bag of clothes, came to a place that I said I would only be at this place if I could get a place such as I have. And when I got it, it was like, okay, meant to be. And then the next step was, now, what is it you're going to do? The person that I came out here for didn't last very long enough to get me situated out of my comfort zone into a place that I once grew up in and I knew people from, but it was still not what I had planned for. And so now new plans had to be made. This time, though, it was quite different. This time I knew and I believed that God and the universe had something in store. And so this time I decided to have faith and believe that I was here for a reason, and the reason would show itself as long as I held fast to the belief that I was here for that I didn't know. And the faith that I had that drove me from where my safety was to a place that I didn't feel the same sense of safety. And here I sat, by myself again. 6, 7 months after this one that brought me here, or coaxed me here, or made me believe that I was here for that person that I wasn't. I had a chance meeting with mine that I now know as my twin flame. Whether she recognizes it or not is not a concern of mine anymore. I knew that she came into my life for a reason that would spark me to where it is that I am today. You see, she has done more for me at this time in my life than anyone has ever. I have to give a lot of credit to the doctor that kept me alive during my physical ordeal of losing a limb. But this one here, she did things and brought me through things, took me through other things, and left me in a minefield. This minefield was things that I had to contend with, mostly things that I had long forgotten. Mostly things that I had buried so deep within the soul, my soul, deep within the closet of my soul, that I had thought these things were long buried and I would never have to face them again. but through the eyes of this beautiful soul. I was so wrong. You see, once I looked into her eyes and found her soul, I found home. It was a recognition of who it was I am. And I seen this beauty, this love, that now I can only describe as me. And if she would ever admit to it, she'd seen her. But that is not for me to concern myself with. Now, this is about me. The journey of self. You see, I was told many words by this beautiful soul that I was things. For me, that set me back. But I recognized the words as being words to see where it was I felt myself to be. You see, once you understand who it is you are, and it is all because of this journey that I feel that I am on, the twin flame journey. It took me to a place where I could find my own balance. This balance was who it is I am and who it is I've always been. This is the balance in which on this journey you have to find. And once you find this balance that's there within you, you will begin to realize you have reached the next level. This level is the journey of self. You see, I truly believe this is the journey. The journey of finding you. Yes, they are the reminders. They are the sparks. They are the flints that go psh, and spark that little ember that's been sitting there within your soul, but they set it on fire in a way that no other soul can, because this is your soul. This is your wake up. This is the time you begin with earnest to find who it is you are. This is the time. The journey of self. What is the cause? What is the reason of this connection? The answer is you finding you. There's a point there where you will let go of all these things that you hold on to. Will he, will she call me back? Will he, will she undelete me? Will she unblock me? Will he unblock me? Will he? All these little things. When will we be physically back together? You see, that's not the journey. The journey is you finding you. I once told my twin flame that I believed in my whole heart that what we are seeking is there within us. And she reminded me that it sounded like a Rumi quote, which Rumi's quote is, what seeking you will is what you are seeking is seeking you. I turn it because I believe the first step is you finding you. And when you find you, what is seeking you will find you. But you have to find you first. Here's the balance. And when you find that balance that is you, finding the power in which it is you are, finding who it is and your identity into this journey that you are on now and your mission that you are here for, this is where your strength comes from. And they are the reminders of this journey that you were truly intended to be on. Everything else is secondary. The true mission of this twin flame connection is not about anything else but you finding you. And once you do, you will see what it is you've always been intended to see. You will be who it is you've always been intended to be. And that is to be the light. You see, you have a story. Your story is strong. Your story of you has healing power. This healing power will help the next soul behind you to step up into their own story. This journey, this twin flame journey is truly about you finding you, the journey of self. Everything else is secondary. And once you find you, then you become the power in which it is you've always been intended to be. And that is the light that you are as a healer. You see, this is all about raising the energy of those that are around you. Through the story in which you've walked this world. You see, most on this journey have been through much. Most have been through pains that go beyond. Most have experiences that will shock others. And that's where the healer comes out in you. Be the light. I've went long on this. I had no intentions to go past 10 minutes, and yet I had an inspiration that came along, and so I shared more than I thought I should, but it is nonetheless what it is that came out. So, be well, be love, always, and until next time, stay awesome.